Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. I'm Kristen, and today it's not Friday, but I want to do another thrift flip video for you guys. I love doing them and they are so easy, so inexpensive to do. I've been shopping yard sales like crazy and finding things at $2 and under. I cannot wait to share some of these items with you. Also, I am going to be sharing one of my brand new hobbies in a little bit, or something that I am learning. So without further ado, let's get into the video. This first DIY only cost me 10 cents. Yeah, 10 cents. I love finding prices like that at yard sales. I sanded it down and I'm just adding a couple layers of white chalk paint. Now when I sanded this down, it did have that crackle effect. Maybe it's paint, maybe it's Mod Podge, but I was completely okay with it showing through my white paint. I did do 2 coats and it still showed through a little bit. I'm using a hair dryer so you can see when it's drying there is a little bit of crackle still left in this. Dry brushing it with some black chalk paint. I'm using a chip brush. This is from Dixie Belle, but you can always purchase them from Amazon. Probably any craft store will have these. I just like the effect that it gives. I am also using this silkscreen transfer. I love using these. If you are not new to my channel, you know I use them all the time. Probably in every single thrift video, I will use 1 or 2 of these. I just really like them. I think they make projects look super high end and they are pretty simple to use. I'm not saying I didn't have issues when I first started using them, because of course I did. I wasn't sure how to clean them. I wasn't sure, but like once you start using them, it gets a lot better. And of course, my favorite part is pulling this off, and you can see that I did mess up a little bit, and you can just fix that with a tiny paintbrush. Also adding a bow to the top, and that is all I did for this project. I think it looked really great the way it was to start, so I didn't want to mess it up a ton, but I mean, I like this way better. Alright guys, I don't know if you guys are excited about this part of the video. I'm going to show you guys what my new hobby is. I am learning how to crochet. I've been wanting to learn how to do this forever, and granted this is only like the first step of crocheting, but I am really proud of this little strand here. It did take me a little bit of trial and error and how to figure things out, but I'm excited to learn more. So this is just what I learned within like 10 minutes. So I can't wait to figure out the next steps. And I do want to thank this all to Craftsy. Craftsy is an online community and resource where crafters can find creative inspiration. You can advance your skills on here, or you can learn a new one along the way. This is where I started my crocheting tutorials, and I think so far so good. Craftsy offers more than 2,000 classes in over 20 different categories, such as crocheting, knitting, sewing, painting, drawing, and so much more. Personally, I've been using Craftsy and watching these videos right here because I really want to learn how to make these animals. Now, I know I have a long way to go with this, but my girls absolutely love those, so I would just really love to learn how to figure these out, but obviously there is beginner classes, so I'm not going to learn this tomorrow, but eventually I would really love to. So if you guys are looking for a new summer hobby, join Craftsy today, become a community member, and the first 1,000 to click the link in my description box will get a full year of premium membership to Craftsy for only $1.49. Next DIY only cost me 50 cents. These are some of the projects I am working on or I have already worked on, so make sure you guys check out my other thrift flip videos. So I'm just sanding this down just a little bit because it did have some nasty stuff on it. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but it wasn't anything that I would want to bring into my house and paint. So sanding it, I'd rather sand everything off than actually clean it, which I did eventually clean it, but you get the picture. Of course, I am using some chalk paint in white, and I decided to go ahead and paint this entire thing white, front and back side, of course. And then I did end up changing my mind and painting it a different color along with the white. I love these rub-on transfers from Dixie Belle, and of course I have wanted to use that stacked animal one, and now I just taped this off. I wanted to use the color Moss. This is by Waverly. It is one of my favorites, and then I realized when I started using this that I barely had any left, and it was starting to get old and chunky. I worked with what I had. I kind of wish I would have watered it down a little bit, because when it did dry, it was a little off and chunky in some spots, which you're going to see here kind of made my rub-on transfer not stick the way that I wanted. So I love showing projects that don't always go my way, but then in the end, they work out great, because everybody has issues, and especially rub-on transfers can be such a pain. But obviously you do not want to put a rub-on transfer on chunky half-dried paint. That was just user error. I just really wanted this done, and I was like, this is going to be so cute. I can't wait to finish this. I probably should have waited. You can always seal your paint too. So instead of putting a rub-on transfer on top, normally I do not have any issues, but like I said, this paint was just kind of chunky and it wasn't fully dry. So like I said, it was kind of pulling off some rub-on transfer, but I did get the pieces that I wanted on there as far as like the cow legs and at the bottom. And then I just touched it up, and you can barely tell afterwards. Of course, I wanted to go ahead and dry brush to cover up any sort of flaws that were still visible. And I just wanted to show you guys the chip brush that I use. And honestly, this still had like black paint on it, and I didn't even care. When you use it, you barely dip your brush in the paint, so nothing really comes off, and it looks great. This bow is from Amazon. It is my favorite. I have probably 20 of these, and I stick them on every single farmhouse DIY that I make because they are just so pretty. This is what it looks like when it is done. 50 cents for this project. Everything else I did have on hand. Yes, you have to buy things, but I've already used so many rub-on transfers in the roll. I feel like this project was pretty much free. Anything galvanized can and will be used with a silkscreen transfer or a rub-on transfer. This rub-on transfer is from that Dixie Belle pack that I used with that stacked animals. Like I said, you can make a ton of different projects with these rub-on transfers. So although you may pay a little more for the giant roll of rub-on transfers than going to a dollar store or something like that, you get good quality rub-on transfers, and you have larger ones, and you can make so many projects. This little galvanized tin or this vase cost me $1.49 from a Goodwill outlet, and once that was done, I threw some pampas grass in there and good to go. You could add whatever you wanted to this, but I think this is absolutely adorable. This next one, I had 2 of these signs. They are the exact same ones, picked them up for $1.49 at Goodwill, and I'm just using some acetone nail polish remover to take off the writing. Normally, this is a pretty easy task. I could not get the second one to work. This is what this one looks like. This second one, nothing would come off. I even soaked it in nail polish remover. It was not coming off. If you guys are not subscribed or following my TikTok or my Instagram, I did share a fun reel on this actual DIY project. It is simple. Another silkscreen transfer. This one is an older one from Chalkature. I've never used it, so I thought, why not try it out? Throw it in my kitchen. I'm not a coffee drinker, but my husband is, so I think that this looks super cute in our kitchen. This Lazy Susan only cost me $1 from a yard sale, and I'm just using the color Celery. This is by Waverly Chalk Paint to paint. Now, I know a long time ago, Walmart kind of got rid of a lot of the Waverly Chalk Paint and was getting that Hello Hobby brand in, and I think that is what mine is coming down to. The last time I went to buy paint, it was all on clearance, and there is a ton of Hello Hobby like paint brushes, so I'm not sure what's ahead there, but I'm getting a little nervous there. Using a Chalkature silkscreen transfer. I have so many of these I have not used. So I've been dying to use some of the ones I picked up last year, never used. I feel like that my money is just hanging on my wall, so I really wanted to use this one. I loved this because I thought it'd be a really cute Lazy Susan for cookouts or when we grill or when we just hang out in the backyard. We can make this into some sort of like charcuterie board. Just whatever we choose to do. You will want to seal this with a food safe sealer, and if I can find it, I will link it down below for you guys. But I think this is really cool, and you can have just all kinds of stuff. You could have like a little s'mores thing on here. I love making s'mores boards. They're super fun. Or you can do like a DIY sub bar. So this is just a couple ideas. I know my youngest daughter absolutely loves things like this, so there you go. But that is it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to check out Craftsy. Join and become a community member. The first 1,000 to click the link in my description box will get a full year of premium membership for only $1.49. But that is it, you guys. I will see you in the next one. Bye!